Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
So why isn't anyone responding to my query? What did we do in the previous class?
Ma'am, created a Spring Boot project.
Can you please repeat, dear? Arjun?
Ma'am, created a Spring Boot project.
What exactly did we do over there? What operations did we perform?
Ma'am, create, post, put, delete operations we can
Exactly.
done, ma'am.
Which
Yes, ma'am.
means what did we do? We performed the crude operations in the previous class. So it just amazed me that out of 24 people, only Archana is the one who has studied or who has gone through the previous class. All right, there are no issues. So, did I explain you people? What do you people mean by annotations? And did I explain the entire code to you people in the previous class?
We just explained about some of the annotations, controller,
All
entity.
right.
That
So, for today's class, what will we do? We will go through that crude operations code once again, and all of you have to be very careful with each line of the code. And in whichever line you people are getting some kind of error, this is the chance for you people to clear and to ask and clear your doubts. In each and every word, you have to be clear. And if you don't get anything from the codes which I have written in the previous class, what you have to do, you just have to raise your hand and ask me the question, or else you can also switch on your mic or ask me a query. After that, what we will do, after explaining the code, I will provide you with the I will run the code and then I will show you how to post as well as create a new user, delete, update, and read the users who are present inside our MySQL. Understood? Respond me with a thumbs up.
It's my. Uh,
All right. We share my screen to you people. Is the screen visible?
is
So here is the annotations. Now, as you people can see in the annotation, that annotation are the special markers. So, how many of you tell me have done some kind of coding in Java? Just raise your hands. I want to see how many of you have done the coding in Java. Okay, Kiranmai, Mudgan. Okay. So, Kiranmai, just tell me, you write at the rate override while doing the coding in Java. Does that particular line affect your code in any way?
No, ma'am.
That does not affect our code, right? So here as well, inside the annotations, we are having some kind of words which start with at the rate. So over here, it is given a small example of the same thing, that is override. And here it is written that Java provide information. These are the annotation that provides information to the compiler that what exact task are we going to perform. In the previous class as well, what we have done inside this user controller, see over here we have used this REST controller, and this REST controller is used for what? It is used to provide the provide the JVM with the information that we are going to perform the crude operations where inside the Java Spring Boot. So here you people can see that using annotations is very beneficial for us, because see, if you do not use the annotation, what you have to write, you just have to write bean ID is equal to book controller, and then you just have to write the name of the class again and again, isn't it? Are you people being able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
So now are
Yes,
you
sir.
get all right? So now are you being able to understand even a bit what do you people mean by these annotations and how are they helpful?
Yes, ma'am.
So here we are having the working of the REST controller. As I have told you, it combines the controller as well as response body. So every method in this class returns JSON data. So in MERN, what do we do? Just a second, guys. I really apologize for the interruption that has caused due to some issues. So what I was asking? Gautam, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So Gautam, what did I just explain? That what is the REST controller composed of? That is the combination of two annotations. What are they? All right, Prasad, you answer. Prasad, are you there? Are you being able to hear me? All right. The REST controller is the combination of the response body as well as the controller. And now you people might be thinking, what do you mean by the REST, by this controller as well as the response body? Whenever in MERN we want some kind of response from the server, what do we use? We use the what? Express.json middleware of Express in order to get data in a JSON format, right? For that purpose, we use express.json. But in case of Java Spring Boot, we use the response body as well as controller in order to get the data in the form of a JSON format. Why? Because using Postman, that is this application, we are going to send the data in this format. What is this format called? This format is known as the JSON format. So if we are sending the data in JSON format, then we want to receive the data in the JSON format only, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So for that purpose, what we are doing, we are using the @REST controller annotation in order to get the response in the JSON format. Now, so without REST controller, what you have to do, you have to use @controller, and then after the get mapping, you have to use the response body. So these annotation will get removed if we are using REST controller. So instead of using these both annotations, one after the other, we can just use @rest controller. Then we can define our class. After that, we can use our respective annotations depending upon what kind of request we want to use. Understood? Say for example, we want to read a user, right? So for that purpose, we want some data from the server, isn't it?
Yes,
Hello. Yeah. So in order to get some kind of response, what request do we use? We use the get request in order to get some kind of data from the server, which means what? Do you people have the codings of the previous class? That is these codings. Guys, please respond. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Like you are saying yes for what? For the question that I have said, or you are just saying yes?
No, ma'am,
So
I have
Kiranmai
done that
is
request using Postman.
okay. So Kiranmai, you do not have the code of the previous class for the crude operation?
Ma'am, my laptop is not charging, so I am not able to share my screen.
I'm not asking you, Sandeep. I'm asking Kiranmai. All right, Kiranmai, the recording of that class has been uploaded in YouTube. You can go through it, or else I can copy that this entire code, and then I will send it to the team, and the team will provide it to you. For now, just look at the code that I have written. So over here inside this controller file, what I have done, in order to create a user, what am I using? I'm using the post mapping annotation. So from here, you people might get a little bit idea that why we are using this post mapping in order to send a post request. How many of you understood? Please raise your hands, or else you can also respond with a thumbs up. Okay. All right. So this is what we are creating the user. Now, if we want to create another user, what I have done over here, I just stop the server, which is why I will not be able to send the request. Even if I want to generate some kind of user, say for example, how am I able to know that I have to send the ID, name and email only? Because inside this user.java file, what are we doing? We are creating a model of our database. Now you might be asking, now what is the need of this user.java? This user.java provides the database, that is the MySQL, that we want to create a table in which I want to input 3 columns. That is my ID, my name, as well as email. Understood? And inside the column, how will I be able to send the data? I will send the data from this Postman API. So for that, I will provide the ID as 2, and then I will provide the name. Name will be Sai, and then my email will be sai123@gmail.com. So tell me, will I get some response of this kind, or I will get some kind of error? Tell me.
response, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see. I didn't get the response. Why is it so? Just look at it carefully.
We
Look over
stopped
here.
the server, ma'am. We stopped the
Exactly.
server.
We stopped the server, which is why the server is not responding us back. So how are we able to run the server again? What we have to do is we have to right click on this demo application.java, and then we have to click on this run Java. See, we are getting that the server is running on the port 8080. Over here as well, our port number is what? 8080. And then we have provided the API endpoints as API and then users. So how will I be able to know that what kind of API I have to provide? So in order to get the API that we have to provide, we have to find in this user service, in this user controller.java. Inside this, we are using request mapping, and then we are mentioning our API. So now we have got another working of the annotation request mapping, which means what? We use this request mapping annotation in order to provide the API to the server. Understood, or are there any doubts? Am I audible to all? Srinivas, Balaji, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, Sai, tell me, what kind of annotation do we use in order to provide the API to the server?
Okay, we can use get to the user. We can use post mapping, put mapping.
In order to provide the API, Sai, I just
In order
explained that we use the request mapping annotation in order to provide the API to the user.
request mapping. Yes.
So here in this code, if you see this request mapping annotation, after this I have written API users. So I have used the same API user endpoint in order to send the server. Now, if I'll click on this send button, then what I'm getting the response, right?
Right, ma'am.
So this is why we are ought to run the server after running our code. And then we just created another user, that is Sai. So what if we want to get the data? We will just put the method as get, and then we will get the working of this annotation, that is get mapping. That is, as we have learned in the previous class, that the get mapping annotation is used in order to read all the data. So can anyone tell me what is the difference between this get mapping annotation and the difference and this get mapping accompanying with the ID?
Get
Ma'am,
mapping
the
with
different
ID will be giving the data with ID name ID, and if we use get mapping, it will be giving all the details of the people.
Which means what? Where do we have to put this ID?
Okay,
in the
ma'am,
request, ma'am.
/1 in
Great,
the
great. All right, great. So over here, what if I want to read the data of the user whose ID is 1? I will send it. See, I'm getting the data of the user whose ID is 1. The name is Sana and the email is sana@gmail.com. Understood? And if I remove this entire ID and I just place users and then send it, I'm getting the data of both. That is Sana and Sai, as well as I have different kind of people, that is Pokemon as well as Doraemon in my Mongoose database, in my SQL database, which is why I am getting all these ID. Understood? If I
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to get the data, all right. You understood this get mapping, right? So can anyone tell me what kind of method do we use in order to update the user?
Ma'am, put method.
Put.
All right. We use the put method. So here I will select put, and then I will update the name of Sai to Balraj. And also, one more important thing that I have to mention over here. Can anyone tell me what is that important thing I have to mention inside this URL?
ID.
ID.
Exactly. We have to mention the ID of Sai in order to update his data. So why do we require this ID inside the URL? Can anyone tell me?
Because ma'am, if you are sending the request, so all data is updated, but we want to update only one data.
Exactly. We want the server to know that which data of which user do we want to update. So for that purpose, we will also mention the ID of site, that is 2. Send it. See, the name got updated with Balraj. And here we have done the code for put mapping. And what we are doing, we are calling the update user with ID as well as user as the parameter. So you might be thinking, is this update user built in, or we have, or else we have written it anywhere? So inside this user service.java, we have written the entire coding in order to update the user. Over here, what we have done, we have provided the features how can we able to update the user. Seeing over here what we are doing, we are creating a get user ID function from where we are trying to fetch the ID of the user, and if the user is found, then we are setting the name. After that, we are getting the name of the user, that is the updated name that the user wants to send through the postman. The way just I have sent the name as Balraj, and inside this body. Are you people being able to understand what I am trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Or you want me to repeat it again? Shall I repeat?
No, ma'am. No need.
All right. So since I'm sending the name as Balraj inside this body, it is getting that name and updating the user and setting the same name which I'm providing as the client to the server. And then after setting the name, if some user want to say update the email, then it will get the email from the body and set the same email that has provided by the user. After updating all that data, it will save the updated data. Now are you able to understand how this update user is working inside this user controller by taking the ID as well as the user? Are you clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. And then following to the delete mapping. Inside this user service.java, we have also written the code for delete mapping, which is nothing but we are using the delete by ID function, and then we are passing the parameter that is ID. Over here as well, if I put the method as delete, and then I am setting the ID as 2, and if I will set this and fetch the data, which means what Balraj should get deleted from the database, right?
Yes, sir.
So if we send the request, see, okay, we do not need to pass this data. Okay, there might be some issues. So till updating the data, did you people understand how these things are working? So if I ask you inside this user service, Can you tell me how is this? Is this get user by ID is working?
It only gives the information about ID provided.
Yeah, the main thing to be seen over here is that we just have to mention this find by ID function, which is the main important thing in order to get the particular user is the find by ID function, which helps us to get the data of that user whose ID we are providing inside the URL of the server, that is over here. So now are you being able to get the logic behind the CRUD operations?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
entire logic about how is it working, and then where do we have to use the annotations and all those things?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you want this PDF? Do you want me to share you people this PDF?
Yeah, ma'am. Share once.
Yes, ma'am.
We can practice on.
Yeah, after the class ends, I will send this entire PDF to you people. So if during the project evaluation or the project review, if I ask you people like why do we use the annotation and what are the needs and uses of the annotation, what do you people have to tell me? You have to provide me with these 5 points. That is, it eases us the code simplicity. How it eases us? Can anyone tell me? I just explained about the REST controller. No one? Sandeep, can you tell how it simplifies the code, the annotations?
Yeah, ma'am. Simplify like, ma'am. Repeat once again.
How does the annotation help us to simplify our code?
When the annotation like request mapping, like we don't know about the which request we get, but using the post, we define the post mapping, get mapping. They are simplify our request and they are suggesting ki which type of request has can.
So, Ramya, are you there? Ramya Nayak, are you there? Pranjali Patil? Sai Kumar?
Yeah, ma'am.
So, Sai, just tell
Okay.
me how are these annotations helpful for us to make the code simple?
It reduces the boilerplate code, and also in XML file, we don't need to write any configurations, ma'am.
Okay. So, what did I explain you people about the REST controller?
REST controller, it is combination of controller and response body annotation. So no need to write two annotations. We can write with one annotation. We can write and two work simple.
Exactly. Great. So as Sai just has told that it helps us by reducing the code simplicity in this way that we just have to raise the REST controller instead of the response body as well as controller. So this is how it helps to reduce the code. And coming on to the less boilerplate code. That is, we just need the simple code instead of the boilerplate code in order to provide the functionality to our code. And then it also supports the framework support. That is the Spring as well as Hibernate. These frameworks always rely on the annotations. Has anyone gone through the roadmap of Java and tell me what do we have after the CRUD operation?
Ma'am, we go through the JWT tokens like login,
Alright.
registration, authentication.
So we are having the JWT token, that is authorization as well as role-based access control. Can anyone tell me what do you people understand by the role-based access? You people might have seen this kind of implementation anywhere inside the websites or anywhere.
Yes, ma'am. It's role-based means admin or user.
Which means
Two
what?
two roles are there. Admin, one of the
Great.
role is admin and one of the user. That role-based login.
Okay, I got your point. Which means what? Whenever we are trying to access a website, over there in some website, we need to provide our role inside a firm or an institution or a company where we get different kind of user interface depending upon our roles. If we are the admins, we are accessed some kind of functionalities. Say for example, you own a restaurant. All right. So as an admin of that restaurant, what functionalities you want to avail over there? You want you want to upload the images of the food that are being prepared inside your restaurant, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So over there, you people might get the functionality in order to provide your picture of the food, where you have to provide the name of the food, the description of the food, the price of the food, as well as if your restaurant is shifting from one place to another place, and you want to update the location of your restaurant, what you have to do, being an admin, you have to update the location of your restaurant which with the previous one. You have to remove the previous location and then you have to update the location of your restaurant, being an admin. So these are some kind of functionalities of an admin. So now can anyone tell me what can be the functionalities of a website which should be present inside the website as a user?
Ma'am, like we get the example of Flipkart, like in Flipkart, the user can add, they add the product into the cart and buy, and the search, he can search the products like the functionality in the Flipkart. We take the example.
Which means what? We can order the products which are
Yeah,
available inside the website. Yeah. So
yeah.
over there as well, being the user, what we are doing, we are availing the functionalities that has been provided inside the website, and in order to access those functionalities which has been provided by the admin. If you see over there, the admin must have updated some kind of data inside the website. Say, for example, he must have updated some kind of image of a t-shirt or image of a jeans or image of something else product, which is why as a user, we are able to access that entire product and provide the payment in order to provide the order for that product, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah. So as a user, we are having these kind of functionalities. So we just have to make the API using Spring Boot in order to provide these kind of functionalities to the user as well as the admin. We have to make different kind of functionalities to the user and we have to provide different kind of functionalities to the admin. This is what we mean by role-based access. And now coming on to the JWT authentication. So the JWT authentication is, what do we mean by the JWT authentication? Is anyone from the MERN group is present over here, or are you people everyone from the Java group?
Ma'am, in JWT, like web tokens, we are using for authentication, like the user have a
Sandeep, you are not properly audible, dear.
In some network issue in hometown, some network. Hello.
JWT used to authenticate and authorize users to their applications.
So,
Like
what is the full form of JWT at first? Tell me.
JSON Web Token.
So,
Hello.
JWT stands for a JSON Web Token. And this JWT, what happens when we are registering into a website? Say, for example, if I show you a backend, that is let me show the entire functionality to you people that how those things work, and the next day you will see how to make the APIs in order to generate the token as well as provide the login and register feature to the website. It is getting a bit slow. All right. So our code is running on this 8080. And let me see what is my endpoint. Okay. These are my endpoints. As I have already told you people that we provide the API endpoints through the request mapping API. So we have to provide this auth at first, and then these are the API endpoints that we have to place after auth. Let me show it to you people. I'll make a post request, and over here, what I will do, I will write auth, and then I will try to register inside a website. So in order to register, we need to provide some kind of data to the website, isn't it?
Yes.
So tell me in general, what kind of data do you provide inside the website whenever you want to register yourself? Go on, you can answer this at least. What kind of data do you provide inside the website when you want to register yourself into a website? So you provide your username, email, name, password, all those things. Bhavana, are you there inside the meeting? Vignesh, are you there? Hello, Archana, are you there? Prasad, why did you left the meeting previously? Okay. So here are my API endpoints, after which I have to provide some kind of data inside my website. So here is the data that I have to provide. I have to provide the ID. I have to provide the username, password, as well as role. So here, in order to register myself inside the website, I have to provide ID, that is 8, and then I will provide the username. Kiran, and then I will provide the password, that is inside the password I will write Kiran 4569, and then I will write the role as admin. So what do you people think? If I will create this post request, the data will get saved in this format only, or there will be some kind of changes while the data is stored? Srinivas, are you trying to say something?
No, I think it will be in same format.
Can you please repeat?
In the same format, maybe.
No. And I will tell you why. Just let me send the request. And now what I will do, I will open my SQL workbench. Over here, I have my database as JWTDB. Inside this user, I have let me run this. I will run show databases so that it will show me how many databases do I have inside my MySQL. And then I'm using use JWTDB. After that, I will run select star from user, because the user table is present inside my JWT auth DB. So for that purpose, what I will do, I will run this. Just a second. Then DB. I will use this database, and then run this one. So here I have 4 fields, that is ID, password, role, and then username, right? As I have told you people that whichever thing we are providing inside the model, we will get those fields as the columns inside our table. Are you people being able to see over here what are being generated? See, as I have told you people that after providing the data, that is Sanya, Aditya, and Saraswati, what are the roles of these people? These are users, and their password is getting stored in this format. So, are you people able to guess how is the password being converted from the actual password to this format? What are we using over here? Any guesses? Srinivas, you are not being able to switch your mic on.
No, no.
So, did you see the password the way they were appearing inside the table? The password are appearing in this way because we are using the hash password in order to hash these passwords. So you people might be thinking, like, why are we hashing these passwords that we are storing inside our database? Because whenever a hacker tries to hack our website, over there, what he tends to do, he tends to hack all the passwords as well as emails of the user who are present in the database of that website. So, in order to make our password secure, what the developer does, the developer provides the encryption to the password by hashing those passwords. Understood? And stores the hashed password inside the database to make the website more secure.
Ma'am, you are telling that as a MFA, multi-factor authentication, right?
Yeah. So we are using this JSON web token as well as encryption, password encryption in order to create the token by using JWT and then hashing the password by using vgrid. And then in the next class, we will see how do we actually perform the coding of this thing in order to provide authentication to our website through which we can register as well as log in. And then we can also see how we are implementing the role-based access. Are there any doubts with you people for the crude operations that we have learned today or annotations?
No, ma'am.
Yes. So let me ask a few questions to you people. Can anyone answer what is Java an interpreted language or a compiled language?
Both compiled as well as interpreted.
Sanya, can you explain why is it compiled as well as interpreted?
Ma'am, as the source code or the program is compiled, the bytecode that is generated is then converted to machine code through the JVM or the interpreter. So it is both compiled as well as interpreted.
Okay. So Sanya, tell me one thing that we have learned today inside the class about the annotation. That what annotations come together in order to construct the REST controller annotation? Or the question can be also framed to you as REST controller is the combination of what kind of annotations? Sanya, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the previous class I it just missed, so there are quite a few doubts. So,
But
like,
Sanya, I explained these things in this class only.
yes, ma'am. I actually I need to first go through that lecture. Yes.
Not that lecture, Sanya. Like, did you were you present inside the class from the beginning, or you just entered the class in the middle?
Ma'am, I was listening, but it was like I was facing some sorry. Yeah, I was present in the class, but actually, I was facing difficulties in a few concepts due to the previous class that was missed.
So you should have asked it to me. Na, I have previously told in whichever line you are having the problem, you can ask me. Tell me which line you are having the issue, or else don't you have the code of the previous class?
Ma'am, is the recording being uploaded? Yeah, or is it being sent in the group?
Yeah, the recording is there in the group for the previous class in which I have taught you people the code operations.
Okay, okay. I guess then in the next class, I'll ask whatever doubts are there.
All right, Sanya, but do make sure that you ask doubts because I am there inside the class teaching all you people. But whenever I am calling your names, you people are not responding me back. All right. So if you people, the meeting is still open. If any one of you having some kind of doubt for the previous class, I actually conducted this class in order to clear your doubts only. And from the next class, I'll be explaining JWT authentication and role-based access. So if there are no doubts with you people for the code operations for today's class, then you people can exit the meeting.
When do you want to throw the project? Okay.
You people have been assigned your projects, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the topic of your project? Tell me. Tell me what is the topic of your project? Medic note and trace 369. And what are the functions that you people are provided with inside the project in order to add them inside your project?
Hello, ma'am. Yeah, my first project is develop the full stack application, enables doctors create, manage, and digital prescription of a patient.
Okay. So what functionalities over there has been provided to you people?
Here, built a UI for doctor login dashboard and prescription form, and
So
want
for
to
the
connect.
login purpose, yeah, for the login purpose, let me explain you at first for the authentication. For the backend, we are using Java Spring Boot, right?
Is-
So in tomorrow's class, if I will teach you login as well as register form, then you people will be able to implement the backend and then I have started teaching you React, right?
No. I think for one stack you started.
Yeah, for the one step I did. Okay, if you just do for the authentication, that is the login as well as register. Whenever I will take the project review, till then, may, I should have taught you the login as well as registration API, and as I have already taught you the CRUD operation. Your purpose is to build the APIs in order to just a second. Can someone share me the PDF where you people have been provided your project? I'm stopping to present the screen. Can someone share their screen and show me your project PDF?
Okay. This
Okay. Just a second. Wait, hold on. Okay. So your purpose for building the API is, as I have taught you to perform the CRUD operation, you have to create the API in order to create the prescription, and inside the prescription what you have to add is you have to add different kind of medicines over there, the name of the doctor, name of the disease, as well as the date and time when the patient has visited to the doctor. So these should be the things which you have to make it present inside your database as the columns, and you have to create the user medicines in order to update in. Just show it to me in the next class.
Okay.
Any further doubt with you people regarding the CRUD operation? There is still time with you people if you people are having any kind of doubt for the CRUD operation. No doubts? All right. If there are no doubts, then you people can leave the meeting.